welcome to another up close video. So today's one is looking at number 8 of the Designer's Choice die set, which is available to purchase now and is exclusive to the Tonic website, so Tonic UK and the Tonic USA website, which there'll be links for below. And there's no waiting for it to ship or anything like with the Tonic craft kits. You'll get it straight away, and it's only available while stocks last or until the next one comes out the following month. So if you like the look of it, it's best to grab it as soon as you can, otherwise it might not be available again. But I'm not 100% sure what this kit is, or this die set's called actually, but I've had great fun working with it, and I actually did, I think they're going to be in issue number 12 of the Tonic magazine. It hasn't come out currently as I'm filming this. I'm not sure if it's going to be delayed, but if that still goes ahead, the article still goes ahead, there should be 2 cards of mine using this die set in that issue as well, one of which I've actually recreated for one of my videos because I really liked it, and I did a landscape version of it as well, but I'll show you those a little bit later on. But so this is the die set. This is how the Designer's Choice die sets come. You get them with the bit of skinny foam tape onto a piece of acetate, but obviously you can take them off and put it onto a magnetic sheet as well if you'd rather. And they also come in a plastic wallet that just says Designer's Choice on it, so you could actually, they have this sort of like tab system up here. This bit's larger, so you could actually make a sticker and write the actual name of this Designer's Choice one and the number of it, or the, you know, the order that they've come out in if you want to. And let me see if I can get it. I've sort of piled everything on top of it. They haven't actually got a binder for all of these to go in, but I bought some of these little A5 ring binders. I got them off of Ryman, but I think they were in the clearance section, so you might not be able to get them anymore, but I'm sure they have them on Amazon as well. It's just a 2-hole ring binder, because these ones have got 2 holes in them. I'm not sure if America it's different system, because I know the A4 ones usually have 3 holes in, whereas in England you only get 2 or 4 holes in them. But these fit in a 2-hole one, which is a standard distance of a normal hole punch, so I presume it would be the same in America as well. Anyway, yeah, just a standard A5 one. They fit really nicely in there. So I know we're on number 8 now, so if you have been struggling on deciding how you're going to store them and you've been collecting all of them, just a standard A5 ring binder, they do fit in there really nicely. So that's how I'm going to be storing mine, I think, from now on. And these kind of ones, you can actually, you could write on a piece of paper and slip it inside so you can kind of see it through the front. Or the middle spine piece, if you open it up like this, they usually come with a piece of paper in it, and you can just pull that out, measure the size of this, do your own writing to label it, and put it back in again, or you can use a printer to print something out as well. But I just wanted to show this is a good way of storing them, and if I find some on Amazon, I will make sure to put that link below the video as well, so that you can find the one that I'm talking about and then look it up from wherever you want to buy it from as well. So the die set, it's a really lovely, versatile kind of die set, and I think this would actually work really nicely for memory books as well. If you got, was it last month's craft kit 32, had the mini memory book in it, I think this would go really nicely with that. It's the same kind of height, the little panels, I think they would fit really nicely inside that as well. But I also really like using these for small cards, obviously, because I love making small cards, but they work and give you that kind of channel design in your card, so it's automatically just cutting it into a strip design, but it's finishing off the pattern at the edges, and just giving a gorgeous, like, detailed panel across the card. And you can use them on a small portrait card or a landscape card. They don't quite fit like an A2 size card. They're 5 inches long. The cut bit is 5 inches long rather than 5.5, but it does mean you get a nice little border above and below. So if you wanted to make it a shaker card behind, you've still got a little bit of space above and below to put your foam tape. which is really handy. So let me actually show you the designs rather than just talking about it. So this one is kind of foliage with some flowers in. I've seen this pattern in a few other tonic dies, so you might recognise it too, this sort of three-petalled side view of a flower. So it should go with a lot of other tonic dies as well. Then this one is a gorgeous strip design that just cuts into, they all just cut into the card actually, but you get one cut out one for the fancy edge, but the rest you can just use a paper trimmer to complete the edge of them, or if you want to use them maybe like in a square card, you could die cut a fancy square shape that's obviously going to take the length of this, and you could die cut a few of them to make a panel. But yeah, so you've got this flowery one. I really love the flowers that fall out of this. I've used them on a few of my cards. I've got a few here actually. So these are the gorgeous little flowers that fall out. They're really lovely, and the fact that you get so many when you cut them as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for building up wreath designs, or maybe making a sort of cascade of flowers down a card, or building a border across a card, you get 9 in one go with this. So it's, you know, it's really quick and easy to cut a load of those little flowers out. Then you've got the next strip. All of these patterned strips are all the same size as well, and this strip has got like large flowers inside it. There's 2, and then the pattern is completely repeating, but these flowers are offset as well, so you could completely repeat the pattern and keep cutting it, I think, possibly. Might have to fiddle around with it a bit, but I think these kind of busy patterns, it doesn't really matter if they don't completely line up. I think they still look nice repeated across a background, and you could even make it part of the background and add these strips between them as you cut them, or add them cut out on top afterwards to hide the seams between them as well. And then the final one is a mixture of lots of different flowers on there. I don't know if I've used all of them on my cards. I think I've only used, no, I have used all 3, so you will be able to see all 3 of them cut out in a minute as well. Then, as well as the flower one, you also get just little diamonds that cut as well, and I really like that one too. You could also weave like ribbon or baker's twine through that as well to give a different decorative effect on a card, or cut 2 of these, maybe either side of this decorative panel, and lace it across it as well to give a different look, or just use it as lacing holes on a different kind of design of card. And then the main die in this is a gorgeous symmetrical design, which is kind of, I think this could be the flap of an envelope as well, or like the wraparound of the front of a memory book, or on the cards that I'm going to show you, I've actually cut it in half and used it as like 2 fancy corner pieces for the design as well. And for this one, this die is absolutely perfect for the edge of it, so you cannot cut them both at the same time. You have to cut one and then the other, and I found, well, the easiest way for me was to cut the detailed one and then cut the solid one afterwards, because I don't know if you can really tell, but the line of the die, it really does hug this design properly. So you know, to get it to do that, they've had to make it in 2 separate dies. So you've got the versatility of just cutting this into the card or completely removing it from the card. And it also means you can create a solid backing piece to go behind this. Like, for example, if you did do some kind of wrap the front of a memory book, you could cut this piece and then extend these straight lines all the way out, you know, across the length of an A4 piece of card, and score it at the different intervals to make the front cover, the spine and the back cover of a book. So there's tons of different ways of using this die set. I think it's going to be quite a popular one as well. And then you also get a little gorgeous flower as well. If you saw the pop-up dies that Tonic brought out, it's a similar concept to that, that if you just cut the centerpiece into the card, the petals would lift up, but you can also cut both of them together and have like a little edge piece that you could use to stick it to the card, and then the petal would still pop up. Or you can just use it as like extra dimension. It kind of looks like a double ruffly kind of flower. Or you can just cut the solid one individually and have solid little flowers that you could do the cool effects with, where you cut one petal out and overlap it to create more of a proper 3D kind of a flower as well. So that is the die set, and I'll now show you the cards that I've done. Okay, before I show you the cards, I actually just thought Tonic brought out these, was it 3? I think it was, yes, 3 different die sets a little while ago called double strip dies, and they had 2 different designs in each with 2 different rectangles in each. And these rectangles, they don't fit absolutely perfectly width-wise, but they do height-wise. So if you got any of these die sets, or I'll try and link them below, I'm sure they're still available, this height of this works really nicely for these. And actually, if you use the bigger one, you might get a better kind of, I think the bigger one would work really nicely. You could actually fit an intricate pattern and 2 of the diamond strips in the larger of this rectangle as well. So I just wanted to mention that if you were struggling with getting straight lines using a paper trimmer around the edge of this, and you have these dies in your stash, then those rectangles will work really nicely. They're not the perfect dimension, but they'll work really nicely with this designer's choice die set. So I'll definitely try and put a link for those below so you can find them. And there's 3 different sets of them, so you can pick which kind of outside edge, the edges that you like the most as well. So, I have already filmed my videos using this die set because I wanted to have samples to show you in the up close video, and I filmed 2 different videos. The first one is recreating one of the cards that I have done for the issue 12 of the Tonic magazine, if it's still going to be in there. I'm not sure if it definitely is, but this was one of the cards that I made using this die set for the magazine, and I really loved how it turned out. So I changed some of the cardstock a little bit just because I didn't have any scraps of it in my scrap cardstock thing. But I followed the same layout of my design, having the flowers cascading down and using the same technique of, for the pink cardstock, it's actually the raspberry Craft Perfect card, but I wanted to give it some glitz. So I cut a strip to go behind the channel, and I also cut the flowers out, and then I just took some of the Mambo Melon Glacier paste and just tapped it on to give it that gorgeous sparkly mica-y kind of finish. You can see it shimmering behind there, and when you use the Craft Perfect, the like flakier parts of the Glacier paste hold in the texture of the card. So it really catches the light really nicely, and it spreads it out quite nice and evenly across the card as well. And then in this video as well, sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but in this video I made 2 cards because this was the one that I'd done for the magazine, but I wanted to see how it would work for a landscape card as well. And you can see here how you still got a little bit of extra space either end if you cut it landscape across the card, but I think that looks really nice. And I mean, you could even have it coming off of the card and have a bigger gap this end and maybe have like 3 staggering them. I think that would look really nice as well. But so these panels I cut directly into my white card front, you know, just like the rectangle that I would usually have on the front of a card. And this is that sort of flowery design with that side view of a sort of 3-petally kind of a flower. And this is the multiple different flower design that's in there as well. So it's just got loads of different types of flowers across there. So that was the first bit, cutting that directly into the card. Then I used the these 2 dies, obviously cut them one at a time so that I could get this border nice and close to the intricate detail. And I cut 2 of them from one of the specialty cardstocks, and then I just trimmed them in half and used half up here on the card and half down here, and the same on this one, just to give a sort of fancy edge to the card and kind of pull your eye into the centre of it as well. Then I've just cut both of the flower dies together to give that outer edge like I was trying to explain earlier, and then the inner bit where the petals lift up. Then I've also used the flower strip die to cut the pink flowers to add to the centre of these, and some extra ones scattered across. And then for the sentiment, that is from one of the floral frames, I think they were called. I'll definitely link that below though. this is the frame that has the 2 sentiments in it. It has thanks for everything and you're the best as well. I really love these sentiments. I'm kind of hoping that they'll bring out more of these as well. But you know, you can never have too many thank you cards, so I thought I'd do them both as thank you cards. And then to finish the 2 cards off and to go with that gorgeous mica Glacier paste, I used some of the Cloud9 Dream Drops just to finish off the centres of the flowers and like add a little detail down on the bottom of the card as well. So that's one video that will be up. And then the other video, I did these 2 cards, trying to make, I mean this looks nice and modern as well, but I wanted to just show some maybe a bit more contemporary kind of designs. And you can see here I've used that other You're the Best sentiment from that Floral Frames die set. And I've also cut the panel into the card again rather than cutting it out of the card. I really like that cut into the card kind of a look, and these dies are perfect for that as well. So that's the side view flower one again, and this one is the opened flower one. So maybe I didn't use all 3 of them. Which one didn't I use? Oh no, that is the other flower one. That's the other flower one with the larger flowers in there, and then they're kind of offset further down as well. And then for this one I was utilising the smaller strip detail dies and having the flowers coming up and down the card, and also the diamond pattern as well. And I just decided to use some really bright fun colours, and for this one I cut the flower strip in lots of different colours of card, and even a pearlescent pink card in there as well, and just kept layering them up in a circle to create a gorgeous kind of wreath kind of effect really with all the different flowers, and just using the white vintage drop to add the little centres to them. And this is the Emerald Isle, that one. That's the vintage drop that came out in the Tropical Paradise colour trend that launched earlier this year. I thought that went really nicely with the cardstock colours that I'd used. And also behind this piece, instead of just using a piece of cardstock or a piece that I'd added Glacier paste to, I took a green piece of card but then cut some thin strips of spearmint card and layered them in different angles across the background, and added that behind both of them just to give a little bit more interest. And on this one I've also used the 2 different types of vintage drops on there as well. And when you watch the video you'll actually see I was unsure about the sentiment. Originally I'd cut it from white and then the pink pearlescent, but in the end I decided I wanted to add the green sentiment, or the green shadow on the sentiment, because it brought that green to the forefront of the card. And I mean, I think it makes a bit of a difference. I don't know if it really shows that much, but that was with the pink, but I think the green just adds that bit of depth to it. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that because I had them right next to me. So that's going to be the second video that should be up as well. So I hope you enjoyed this up close video looking at Designer's Choice number 8. I can't believe we're on number 8 already. It feels like no time ago that we were on Designer's Choice number 1 and introducing it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the up close video, and the video should be up soon, hopefully. I've been really behind on my editing recently, so hopefully I will get them up relatively quickly to when I put this one up. But I hope you enjoyed the inspiration and having a close-up look at the dies as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye!